Hello, and welcome to Hudson Homes. Today, we're diving deep into the world of creative financing. We'll cover subject to purchasing. Our goal in this video is to break down this creative financing option and how it is beneficial to the seller as well as the buyer. Let's get started. Subject to is a method where we take over your existing mortgage payments, allowing you to move on without the financial burden of your property. For instance, if your property has little to no equity, if you're facing financial challenges, if you want to sell your home quickly without the hassle of repairs, listing, and long waiting periods, and you just need more than a cash offer price, Subject to transaction could be a perfect fit. Before we dive in the deep end of Subject to and how it works, let's take a look at some benefits for both the seller and buyer. Selling your property on Subject to financing has many benefits, such as we take over all mortgage, insurance, PMI payments, maintenance, and all overhead associated with owning the property. No need for bank, appraisals, inspectors, or due diligence that slows our ability to close. We'll improve your credit profile as we make payments over time, and we can still structure this in a way that you walk away from the closing table with cash. Let me break this down a little more. When we say no more cost associated with the property, we mean it. We set up everything to take over all costs through a servicing provider that assures that all payments will be made on time with no worries. Faster closings mean quicker freedom for you. We aren't tied down to any banks, inspector, etc. We can close as soon as title is cleared. Subject to financing can help the seller's credit in that when we continue to make on-time mortgage payments, it reflects positively on the seller's credit report. This regular payment can help improve the seller's credit score over time. When a homeowner sells their property subject to existing financing, they might end up with more money in their pocket. This is because the transaction often eliminates the need for real estate agent commissions, closing costs, and repair expenses typically associated with a traditional sale. We take the property as is and assumes responsibility for the existing mortgage payments, possibly offering the seller an upfront cash amount as well. In a seller's market or when the property has little to no equity, this approach could result in a higher net gain for the seller. Us buying your property on Subject to financing has many benefits, such as no need to use a bank, no credit check, tax returns, appraisals, etc. Generally allows us to assume debt at a lower interest rate, saves us money and time bypassing closing costs, appraisals, and inspections, and if the mortgage payment is less than the rental income, we can generate a steady cash flow each month. Subject to financing strategy significantly broadens the possibilities for us, enabling us to purchase more properties from homeowners and often at higher prices. Since we are taking over the existing mortgage, we have more flexibility with the offer, often enabling us to present a more attractive proposition to the seller. This method allows us to circumvent traditional lending constraints and extend our purchasing capacity. So what if the seller has little equity or is simply in need of a quick, hassle-free sale? We can step in with a solution that benefits both parties, a win-win situation. Now, when we engage in a Subject to transaction, we need to gather some essential details. What's the remaining balance on your mortgage? How much are your monthly payments? How many more years do you have on your loan? Are there any other liens, such as tax liens, on the property? And are there any necessary updates or repairs needed? These elements are crucial to the process, and what's great about a Subject to deal is that almost everything is negotiable. From the purchase price of the home, to the down payment, to the interest rate, and even a potential balloon payment, we can work together to figure out the best approach for you. We handle all the necessary paperwork to ensure a smooth, legally sound transaction. We'll prepare a purchase and sale agreement, obtain power of attorney, and complete an authorization form to move the process forward. Now I am sure you have a few questions. Let's go over the most frequently asked and see if we answer yours. Is this legal? It is 100% legal. We close Subject to transactions with reputable closing attorneys all the time. How will this affect my DTI? Will I be able to get approved for another loan? Yes. We work with licensed service companies that will contact your bank to provide proof that the payment is being assumed by another party, therefore enabling your lender to remove it from your DTI. Will my bank require me to pay off my loan in full? Anything is possible, but extremely unlikely. We also have alternative solutions if the issue occurs. How does the real estate agent get paid? Agents are paid commissions on every deal. What about the equity that I have in the property? We can use creative finance to give you access to this capital as well. What happens if I stop making payments? We use a contract addendum called a performance clause that would relinquish that property back to you without needing to carry out a foreclosure after 31 days of no payment. Before we wrap up, I want to show you an example of how a subject to transaction has worked. Sarah is the owner of a house in the suburbs. She was offered a job out of state and needs to move quickly. She doesn't have the time to put her house on the market and wait for it to sell. The property has an existing mortgage with a balance of $150,000 and monthly payments of $1,200, which includes taxes and insurance. The house, as is, could sell for around $180,000. In a conventional sale, Sarah might have to spend months waiting for the right buyer, deal with showing the house, pay realtor commissions, and possibly make repairs. But we present her with a subject-to option that can solve her problem quickly. We propose to purchase her property subject to the existing financing. Immediate relief from mortgage payments. Sarah no longer has to worry about the monthly mortgage payment of $1,200. We take over these payments, giving her immediate financial relief. Cash incentive. We offer Sarah $10,000 upfront. She can use this cash for her moving expenses or as she sees fit. Fast transaction. She avoids the long process of listing the house, showing it, and waiting for a buyer. This way, she can focus on her job and her move. Credit score. Since we're keeping up with the mortgage payments, her credit score remains unaffected, and she can even begin to see improvement if she was previously behind on payments. Avoids realtor commissions and closing costs. This way of selling bypasses the need for a real estate agent, saving her the typical 5-6% commission. Additionally, we as the buyers usually cover the closing costs in these deals. This transaction works well for Sarah as she can move quickly without the worry of 2 mortgage payments and can get a fair amount for her house. For us, as investors, we acquire a property with great potential for profit and cash flow without the need for traditional financing. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today and exploring the concept of subject-to financing. We hope we've been able to shed some light on this often misunderstood yet highly effective real estate strategy. We are here for you, and we'd be more than happy to discuss this or any other real estate topic in more detail. So if you have any questions, concerns, or if you're considering selling your home, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to make the home selling process simple, efficient, and beneficial for you. Thanks again, and we look forward to assisting you with your real estate needs.